Hello and welcome back to Sack to the Future 1980. Today it is the opening week for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. The Philadelphia Eagles, of course, last year, after starting off with a great 6-1 record, got through some mid-season crises and then ended the year winning 5 of their last 6 to make the playoffs at 11-5, beating the Bears in the wild card round and then losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round 24-17. So the Eagles are one of the Super Bowl favorites, or at least playoff team bound expected teams. And they are going to try their luck in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons last year finished 6-10, as usual, near the bottom of the standings. But there's hope for this year, mainly because of the development of the rookie from last year, William Andrews, who went over 1,000 yards as a rookie, and expected to only be better here in his second year. Last year, the Falcons had just the one Pro Bowler, Jeff Van Note, but again, William Andrews had a great rookie season and expected to continue that. They really need more from Steve Bartkowski. Came in as a high-touted pick, hasn't quite delivered yet. Last year, 2,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. He hasn't been horrible, but they need him to be better if they're going to ever finish over 500. So here it is, 1980 Philadelphia Eagles at Atlanta Falcons. Let's see how it plays off. The Falcons are going to kick to the Eagles. I'm sorry, the Eagles are kicking off to the Falcons. Steve Bartkowski. Again, we just went over what he did last year. 17 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. He needs to be better than that. You also see Canes in the lineup now. A suspected improved offensive line from last year. Van Note, a very good center, but they just seem to gel a little bit near the end of the year. But here, as I say that, the very first play of the game, Bartkowski is dropped for a sack, so maybe all that is just hearsay. And maybe their offensive line is still going to be dismal. So now all the way back at their own 5-yard line. There's a quick handoff to Andrews, and he loses 2 yards. So much for all that talk. First play of the game, the offensive line gives up a sack. Second play of the game, the highly touted rookie from a year ago, second-year man now, gets destroyed in the backfield. And they're on 3rd and very long. They just decided to go ahead and hand it off to Andrews again. He gets the yards he lost on the last carry. So a quick 3-and-out by the Atlanta Falcons. There is the catch made, and not much on the return, up to the 49-yard line, though. And now here come the Philadelphia Eagles, playoff team from a year ago, led by that man, Ron Jaworski, who is one of the best in all of football at not turning the ball over. Last year, 2,669 yards, 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions only. One of the best interception rates in all of football last year. And there's a handoff to Will Montgomery, who last year went for 1,500 yards and made the Pro Bowl. So again, these Eagles are loaded with talent on both sides of the ball. Finished top 12 in scoring in both offensively and defensively last year. Made the playoffs. and expected to just be even better this year, although it's hard to be better than 11-5. So we'll see if they can do that. Also, you know, based on how they played last year, and with maybe minor improvements to both teams, I still think you have to give the Eagles the edge in this one. Hesitant to say anything on account of every time I pick a game, that team loses, but we'll go ahead and go with the Eagles anyways. We'll give the Falcons some home field advantage. We'll say the Eagles pull this one out by 4 points. Well, no, let's see. They had 11 wins. They only had, let's say 5 points. The difference in wins. Last year they had 11 wins. Falcons had 6 wins. So we'll say Eagles are 5-point favorites, and let's see what happens. Jaworski drops back to pass. Nice blitz pickup. And he's able to hit his man out to the 25-yard line. Ooh, there's a nice juke move or cutback from Montgomery there, able to get 2 yards. Turned a 0-yard gain into 2 yards. There's a handoff. This time again to Montgomery. He gets 5 yards. And pump fake by Jaworski. Comes out, throws to Montgomery out of the backfield. Makes the catch, but gets tackled short of the first down. So the Falcons defense with nice tackling holds them to a field goal opportunity, I was going to say, but the Eagles come out and they're going to go for it. Dick Vermeil being aggressive here in the opening game. Jaworski play action pass, fires, and completes the pass for a first down. Double coverage, but it wasn't enough. The Eagles still get the first down. Nice throw by Jaworski. He had to be accurate on that one. And now another play action pass. Jaworski then goes ahead and throws it to the running back, which was not Montgomery on that one. That was actually Louis Giamona. There's a quick throw out. Jaworski starting off 6 of 6. That completion to John Spagnola. So he is spreading it around. I think he's completed to 5 different receivers of the 6 passes. Jaworski now looking end zone, and there's the touchdown. So Jaworski with an absolute phenomenal drive. That one was to Charlie Smith. 6 different receivers, 7 for 7 with a touchdown pass. And 5 points. I mean, I've been wrong every time, but this time I may have been wrong the other way, not favoring the favorite by enough points. So far, every time I pick a favorite, they have lost, and lost easily. But this time I say Eagles by 5, and they're up by 7 midway through the first quarter. If you missed any of the other games on this channel so far, you'll see some of the scores of the other early games. The noon Central games, 1 o'clock Eastern games. Not all of them were broadcast, of course, so some, like their Minnesota, Cincinnati, there's no way you could know what's happening in that game, but you can see the score updates at the bottom. And one change from Sack to the Future of the Past, since this is simulation football now of broadcast view simulating computer versus computer, and there's not other games that will be played later. You won't have the issue where you might see something on the bottom say, the Chargers won 26-7 and Dan Fouts had 340 yards, and then realize that's not really true. That game hasn't happened yet. There's a fumble, and that's picked up and recovered and turned into a touchdown. Well, it's all Eagles early. John Bunting with the recovery and run back for a touchdown. The 8th-year linebacker from North Carolina gets the touchdown. Oh, there is a booth review, though. The Falcons need to be saved here. A little bit of home cooking in their home stadium. They need the review ref. Well, let's see. I mean, he's on top of him, so he's not down. I mean, he's down, but he's not. He's laying on top of the Eagle, Harrison, and that's why it's going to be a fumble and a touchdown for the Eagles. Unbelievable. So Andrews gets hit, brought down, but on top. Oh, they call him down, even though he was literally laying on top of the Eagle, Carl Hairston. So that's controversial and a bad call. I said they needed some home cooking refereeing, and they got it. A touchdown taken off the board by the refs on a bad call, even though they had replay to look at. Very interesting. So the Falcons will get the punt, which doesn't seem like a great thing normally, but it's great in this case because they could have gave up 7 points. Pretty good punt, fair catch called for. I was going to say before that crazy fumble, non-fumble, that anything you see on the tracker down below is accurate. Those games have either already been played, and now you're seeing the score update from the view of the Eagles-Falcons, so they don't know the Chargers-Redskins game has already been played, or the only one they know, of course, is the Cowboys-Bucks, because that was the Thursday night game. So all these games, whether they've been broadcast or not, have been played. These are all accurate stats. Unfortunately, on week 1, you can, a Madden glitch already knows the game's final, so they already show you who won. So that's unfortunate, as you see the Cardinals take a lead 3-0. You're like, oh, is Tennessee or the Oilers going to come back? Well, since it says 1-0 next to their name, I guess the comeback's not happening. But you could only get from Madden what they allow you to get. Still nice to have the scoring updates. And occasionally, I thought they did some stat stuff, although I don't see any stats so far. Just scores. Okay, Falcons first drive, 3-and-out punt. Second drive, 3-and-out. Think that you fumbled and gave up a defensive touchdown, but the refs call it back. And you get to punt. Third drive, they need something other than a 3-and-out. They need at least one first down. Couple handoffs to Kane. Oh, he breaks some tackles and gets the first down single-handedly just by breaking tackles. Kane is able to get a first down. The first down of the 1980 season for the Falcons. Lynn Kane. There's a completion downfield. Bartkowski follows that up with a nice throw over to one of his primary receivers, Wallace Francis. Wallace Francis, of course, the 7-year man out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, originally drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the 5th round. There is, of the starters on both offense and defense, Jeff Van Note, the last year's Pro Bowl center, is the only one of them over 30 years old, so a pretty young team are the Falcons, which you would expect. I mean, if they're constantly, 8-8 or worse, then why would you keep people around? You got to keep changing them, keep bringing in young guys. A couple guys certainly do stick around, but, you're not going to have them play. It's not like, the Doomsday defense or whatever that has been around and been great and made the playoffs every year, and then you keep those guys around until they're 40 or they finally miss the playoffs. Or they just want to retire. But when you constantly go 7-9, 6-10, 5-11, you are going to be replaced by younger guys. So with all that said, the fumble touchdown that wasn't a fumble, and the pathetic Atlanta offense for most of the first quarter. The quarter comes to an end, and the Falcons are only down 7, and they have the ball in Philadelphia territory. So damage control has worked. And then just as I say that, Bartkowski fires and throws another interception. I mean, I say that's his first one of 1980, but we talked about 17 touchdowns to 20 interceptions, just not getting it done. There was a time, maybe in the 60s or even early 70s where, it was okay. Everyone threw more interceptions than touchdowns, but now the good guys, well, other than Bart Starr, I guess, but now the good guys, the good teams, that's not what they do anymore. The good teams have quarterbacks that at least throw more touchdowns than interceptions. And there's a sidestep, a nice little move there by Leroy Harris to get the not first down, but to get past the line of scrimmage and get some yards. Second and 6 now for the Eagles. Jaworski drops back. In trouble, all kinds of trouble, continues to run backwards to make it worse. And Moreau able to get the sack and ends up being a huge 12-yard sack. He could have stayed there and took the 7. I don't know. Jaworski's not going to outrun people, so I don't know why he started running back as if he was going to, he's Roger Staubach or something, or Fran Tarkenton, find a way to get around the guy and by time. It just basically lost yards by running backwards. And now because he ran back so far, that 12-yard play is nowhere near a first down. They can't even think about going for it. They have to punt here on 4th and 6. So who's your pick to win the 1980 season? If we know anything from Back to the Future, it won't be the real-life champions. So the 1980 season, real life, of course, was the Raiders that won the championship. So we are pretty sure that won't be the case. And the 4 semi-pro teams that don't really exist yet, so they're a mix of retired and Canadian football players. They're not going to win it either. So that still leaves 27 other teams that, according to the Back to the Future history, are still capable of winning this thing, including both of these guys. That was a nice run by Andrews. Broke a few tackles and got very close to a first down. And, ooh. Wow, that was a hit. Bartkowski goes underneath, hits Kane, what looked like a first down, and he got blown up by a vicious hit. Who was that? And that hit just unleashed by the linebacker there, Frank Lemaster. Oh, he had problems catching that punt. I thought maybe it ended up getting it blocked. They actually got a good punt away after that startling handle at first. But no harm, no foul. Ended up being a good punt. And the Eagles' defense has been great so far. Their offense got a great first drive for a touchdown. Hasn't done anything since then, though. Jaworski's going to drop back to pass. It looks like a screen set up to Montgomery, and he's got blockers across the 30, 35, up to the 37-yard line. Nice little play there from the Eagles. Jaworski play action pass, fake, comes up firing downfield. He hits Harold Carmichael, the huge 6'8" receiver. Now in his 9th year out of Southern. Now back into the I formation. The Eagles, by contrast, Jaworski's only 29, so he doesn't count, but Carmichael, Charlie Smith, Stan Walters, Guy Morris. No, Guy Morris is 29. Woody Peoples, though. 1, 2, 3, 4 on offense. 1, 2 on defense. So 6 of the 22 starters on the Eagles are over the age of 30, whereas the Falcons had just the 1. But again, the Eagles, strong year last year, 11-5, made the playoffs, won a playoff game even. So yeah, you don't care so much about the age. You keep them around and keep them together if possible. Jaworski hits Harris for a first down. He's now 12 of 13. So not only is he careful to turn the ball over, but he's actually having a stellar completion percentage so far. There's Giamono again on the carry. His second of the game. Not much. So you've heard the names. We'll just go through the starters real quick for you. The Eagles offense, quarterback Ron Jaworski. Running back Wilbert Montgomery, fullback Leroy Harris. The receivers are the tall Harold Carmichael, and the other receiver is Charlie Smith. There's Wilbert Montgomery again. The offensive line from left to right, Stan Walters, P.D. Perot, Guy Morris, Woody Peoples, and Jerry Sizemore. A lot of veteran names on that lineup. First and 10, handoff to Montgomery. Gets down to the 20-yard line. 6 carries, 15 yards. Just plugging away, trying to wear out the Falcons so they get some bigger runs in the second half. Turn, a hand, and another yard maybe. Montgomery, 7 carries, 16 yards. There's 5 minutes to go in the first half. Eagles up 7-0. Looking for more on this drive. Jaworski drops back. In trouble and taken down. Kuykendall with the sack off the edge. Slowed up for a minute by the running back there, but not long enough for Jaworski to get the ball off Leroy Harris. Kind of outmatched, got in his way, gave Jaworski another tenth of a second, but wasn't enough. 44-yarder from Franklin. He's got a strong leg. Last year hit a 59-yarder, an Eagles franchise record. And here, that's no problem for him. So the Eagles up 10-0. Falcons really haven't done much yet to turn the skeptics around. Looks like another losing season for the Falcons in store, but it looks like maybe I finally get a game right. Barkowski will hand it off to Kane. 6 carries, 9 yards. Got to have a better average than that, you would hope. And they'll give it to Lynn Kane again. Oh, nice move there, and then runs over him at the 30. So there you go. That helps the average. Now he's up to 19 yards. Nice little move at the line of scrimmage. Barkowski now back into the shotgun and hands it off to, that's William Andrews. But he doesn't get much. Shotgun again for Barkowski. The Falcons would love to get some points here before the half. Barkowski in trouble, and down he goes. That is the best player on the Eagles defense. Nose tackle Charlie Johnson. The key man, really, in the 3-4 defense of the Eagles. Did someone call timeout, or was that the 2-minute warning? Both. Apparently, the Eagles called timeout even though it was the 2-minute warning. So that is strange. There's a handoff to Kane. And that forces the Eagles to use another timeout, and the Falcons will punt yet again. So oddly, the refs charged the Eagles the timeout, even though it was the 2-minute warning. And because of that, the Eagles only have one timeout. And so the refs are trying. They're trying to help the Falcons in this one. What seemed like a clear defensive touchdown they took away from the Eagles, and then now they just took a timeout away from the Eagles. And, I mean, it hasn't helped much. It's still 10-0, but I guess it could be 17-0, and they could have a second timeout. So this game could easily be out of hand if the refs weren't stepping in as much as possible. Jaworski fires and completes over to Charlie Smith. Jaworski on fire, 14 of 15. Back to pass again. And runs out to his right and just gets rid of it. Nobody open downfield. He says throw the ball away. Fires on. Oh, wow. The Falcons guy went for the interception, and had he gotten it, that might have been a defensive pick six. But somehow it went through him, and Montgomery caught it. There's another nice play. So a couple aggressive plays by the Falcons trying to force the turnover. The one went through the linebacker's hands. I thought he had it, but it ended up being a completion. That one at least was knocked down to stop the Eagles from continuing the drive. And the Eagles punt it into the end zone. So the Falcons do have all three timeouts and the ball at the 20, but the way their offense has performed, it almost feels like maybe you just get into the locker room to make sure it's not any worse. Sets up a screen, but the running back got lost, and it's incomplete. Bartkowski, given time from his offensive line, completes it underneath, and is that the Eagles call? No, the Falcons called timeout. Okay. 3rd and 3. Falcons are obviously in the mood to go for it as they just called a timeout. So, he just launches it deep and out of bounds. So he avoided the sack. And the Falcons will punt. There you see a close one. The Cincinnati Bengals up on the Minnesota Vikings 9-7. Okay, with 25 seconds and one timeout, I can't imagine the Eagles wanting to go for points here. But they go back to pass, so maybe I'm wrong. Jaworski scrambles, stands there, and it's hit. So by not running the ball, they just let their quarterback take another hit, and now it is halftime, 10-0. Eagles lead at the half. Nothing. Snaps 35-27. Falcons kicking off to the Eagles to start the second half. Ron Jaworski in that first half, 15 of 18, 111 yards and a touchdown. And the Eagles have not turned the ball over here in 1980 yet, and have not given up a point either. Well, I'll tell you what, if the Eagles play every half of football this way, meaning they never allow a point or turn the ball over, I have a feeling they will win the whole thing. Jaworski with play action pass, fires downfield and complete to Charlie Smith again. Another completion for Jaworski. The Eagles get the first down to continue moving the ball. And nothing there for Montgomery. 8 carries, 15 yards. Falcons doing a pretty good job against the run. Jaworski drops back. He will swing it out to Montgomery. And nice tackle made there by the outside linebacker, number 56, Al Richardson from Georgia Tech, the rookie. Third and 6. Big play for both teams. Jaworski drops back, turns, fires, completes, hits him on stride, which allows him to get the first down. That was fullback Leroy Harris on the other end. Nice throw by Jaworski. He's playing a very fine game so far. And now a play action pass. Jaworski sets clean pocket, fires downfield. Not downfield, but a couple yards downfield, I guess. Goes the short route and gains less than a yard. And now there's the handoff to Montgomery. And again, no, it's not Montgomery, it's Giamono. But still, nicely played by the Falcons. So no matter how well Jaworski does throwing the ball, the Falcons will refuse to open up running lanes. They are determined to shut down the run. And I guess just live with Jaworski carving them up. Jaworski back to pass again. Now he's in trouble. Rolls out, fires it out of bounds. Got outside the pocket first, and then that will be a punt. So again, smart plays by Jaworski, except for that one time when he ran back and got a huge sack. But he hasn't turned it over, and he's gotten rid of the ball to avoid sacks a few times. In a game where the defense is playing so well, a field position type effort is not a bad thing. Bartkowski, he waited as long as he could, then decided to go short, but it ended up being incomplete. Bartkowski 4 of 10 now. Not quite the accuracy that his counterpart Jaworski is showing. There's a handoff to Kane. He gets hit behind the line, so neither defense allowing much happening on the ground. In fact, the Falcons only have 56 total yards. Bartkowski on 3rd and 11. Really need a big play at some point. Now he's in trouble. Hit as he throws it. Incomplete, but at least it wasn't a safety. Johnson and Harrison harassing Bartkowski. This Falcons offensive line having a hard time doing anything with the Eagles defense. All right, so great field position for the Eagles. Feels like this could be the drive that breaks the Falcons. Falcons have done a great job defensively to stick around in this one, which is a good sign, at least defensively. Last year they were 3rd from the bottom as far as points allowed. Pump fake by Jaworski. Now he fires deep downfield. Carmichael goes up, uses his height, comes down with the ball. And the Eagles are now inside the 30-yard line. 3 catches, 49 yards so far for Carmichael. Jaworski back to pass again. Rolls out a little bit, and now he's going to take off and run and slide for safety. 5-yard gain by Jaws. There's a handoff. Is that Giamona again? Yep. 6 carries, 13 yards. Jaworski drops back. Rolls out. Hits Montgomery out of the backfield. Quick handoff to fullback Leroy Harris. His 5th carry of the day. So Giamona's got 6 carries. Harris has 5 carries. So they have 3 different running backs with 5 or more carries, so spreading it around on the ground game. Jaws drops back to pass. Hit as he throws it. It's still complete, though. Hit as he throws it and still able to get a completion. I thought for sure that would be an incompletion as he got hit, but got it out. Couldn't hit him in stride, so he wasn't able to turn and get the first down. He had to come back for the ball, but still a completed pass. And now Franklin will come out and drill the field goal. And it's 13-0, so the Falcons are bending. And, I mean, they're getting, for all intents and purposes, they're getting beat pretty bad. But you look at the score, it's only 13-0. If they could just get a play, just one big play, like on a kick return, no, only to the 18. As bad as they're getting beat, they're one big play away from making this a very interesting game. Only 55 total yards of the Falcons' defense has held the Eagles to under 200 so far. So, again, they're keeping them in it. Barkowski fires downfield, and that is a big play, but it's the wrong way. It's to the Eagles. Barkowski maybe feeling the pressure that he had to start making something happen. And instead, he throws his second interception of the game. Barkowski just cannot seem to learn to stop turning the ball over. Jets having all kinds of problems with the Canadian team that's playing in Carolina. Big 3rd and 1. Can the Falcons hold yet again? I mean, they've got to be close to breaking. Exhausted. And there's Montgomery, fights for the first down and gets it. 10 carries, 27 yards on the day. Quick handoff. Montgomery again. Not much, but they're just constantly jabbing away, forcing turnovers, keeping the Atlanta defense on the field the entire game. There's Harris with his 6th carry. 3rd and 2 coming up. Another chance for the Falcons to stop the drive. They've been so good at it outside of that first drive, but, I mean, they're getting tired. I don't know if they have anything left. And they're right at the first down. It's going to be interesting. The refs have helped the Falcons before, and they will again. Calling it 4th and inches, but the Eagles don't care. They're going for it. 4th and inches. Here go the Eagles. Maybe momentum if the Falcons can actually stop them. Motion, will they actually snap it? They do snap it, and it is a first down to Montgomery. Carries it across the line. So the Falcons, Barkowski shaking his head. He knows he threw that interception. Was hoping his defense could bail him out with a 4th down stop, but it didn't happen. Quick handoff. And that was not Harris. That was Harrington getting his first carry. The Eagles held the ball the entire 3rd quarter and put another 3 points on the board so far. And after Montgomery cuts it back, touchdown, Eagles, late 3rd quarter. Again, the Eagles had the ball the entire quarter. The Falcons defense finally just completely exhausted, broke and let him into the end zone. And now that pretty much does it. It's 19-0. The Eagles going to go for 2 to make it a full 3-touchdown lead. 20's not good enough. Jaworski rolls out to the right, still looking. Now he's going to run for it and get it. Jaworski runs for the 2-point conversion, and it's 21-0 Eagles. All right, so we know who's going to win the game. And the next question is, are the Eagles really going to get the first shutout of 1980? As much as the other games were blowouts, they were not shutouts. Barkowski having probably the worst game of the games that have been broadcast here. Andrews having a disappointing game as well. Falcons are going to need to do some learning from this game, I hope. Otherwise, just have another 5-11 season or something like that. Bartkowski now. Turns, fires, completes. Oh, there's a tackle. That's just his 5th completion. 4 completions in 3 quarters. That's his 2nd completion to the tight end Miller. Bartkowski now, 3rd and 7. Fires, completes, and picks up the first down. All right. Maybe now that we're in 4th quarter, the Eagles will back off the defense and kind of play prevent, let Bartkowski get some statistics, easy completions, and rack up some yardage if he's willing to continue to go short like that. That was just the 30th play of the Falcons. So certainly getting out possessioned. Bartkowski, the offensive line gave him all day. He took every bit of it and then found a man downfield. That was a nice play. So even Bartkowski, if you don't rush anyone and give him all day, he's going to be able to find someone. Bartkowski this time finds 2 Falcons in the exact same spot, but luckily they did not run into each other or anything. Illegal touching. Oh, Francis, I guess, went out of bounds on his own. Empty backfield for Bartkowski. A pump fake. He pump faked the quick screen, then came back the other way for a couple yards. And Jackson, by picking up all these little completions, has gone over 50%. Now he fires deep to the end zone, and it's incomplete. All right, 4th and 7. I mean, we know the game's already over, but this really is the game on the line here. You have got to get this first down if there's any hope. Bartkowski's looking for the whole touchdown, and it's incomplete. He went right to the back of the end zone. Asking a lot. The guy's going to have to catch the ball and come down inbounds. Wilson just pretty much shoved him out of bounds to make sure even if he caught it, it wouldn't be a touchdown. But because of the hit, he was unable to hold on. So the Eagles take over. They should be in full run mode at this point. 21-0. Falcons can't do much on offense. So there's a huge hole anyways. So you saw he was running with 2 hands on the ball, Giamona, but ended up getting a lot more yards than he was probably anticipating. Total yards, 223 for the Eagles, 94 for the Falcons. Rushing yards, 91-31 advantage. Montgomery got no yards on that one. Brings up 2nd and 10. Pitch out to him. He gets a block. Gets across the midfield. Breaks a tackle. Goes all the way inside the 40. Best run of the day for Wilbert. Hand up. Oh, there's Giamona making getting small and lost by the Falcons defense. And Jaworski is going to throw. Fires, looking in the end zone. Oh, no, I think he was just throwing it out of the back of the end zone. Then the Falcons guy at the back end actually makes a great catch. But, of course, can't land inbounds because he threw it out of the end zone. There's a quick handoff to Leroy Harris. I thought for sure he was going to get it, but he did get it, just not as much as he should have gotten it by. So the Eagles doing what they should, working the clock, getting first downs. There's a handoff, another big hole. Again, the Falcons are just exhausted on defense. The Eagles have dominated this game. The Falcons defense held up as good as it could until the end of the 3rd quarter. They gave up a touchdown. Now they just can't stop them. Look, they're just getting pushed off the line. The Eagles are spreading it around, not just Montgomery. Harris is up to 41 yards. Giamona has 30 yards or so. So they're trying to keep the running backs fresh. And now Jaworski's going to throw complete to Giamona out of the backfield. And they will not let him get in the end zone. So a little bit of pride there. Knocks him out at the 1. So Jaworski will not pick up the touchdown pass. But now they can get another touchdown run. And they do not. Harris is stuffed. Montgomery got the 2 touchdowns. No. There's been... Yes, Montgomery has 2 touchdowns, I think, right? Well, he's in there now. Let's see if he can get another touchdown run. Hand off to Montgomery. Absolutely not. No, just the 1 touchdown. 17 carries, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay, so the Falcons, they pushed him out at the 1, then they've come up with 2 stops. The clock is just being drained, but the Falcons' pride trying not to allow the touchdown, and they do not allow it, so that was nice. Something to build on. And then the Eagles, because they're the Eagles, they're going to go for that 4th down. Wow, the Eagles just making a lot of enemies here, but the Falcons hold. So the Falcons hold. Pushed them out at the 1-yard line, setting up a 1st and goal from the 1, and then the Falcons defense somehow found the stamina and strength and everything to keep them out of the end zone. And now the offense will take over and probably do nothing with it. Either Barkowski will throw an interception or they'll be hunting, hopefully. Hopefully they won't go for that 4th down way back here and make sure the Eagles get more points. So a disastrous start for the Falcons. They were excited. They were hoping they were going to make improvements. And they get to start against a playoff team to test if those improvements are working. And it's a definitive no. They are getting manhandled in every way by the Philadelphia Eagles. That was actually a nice catch. He held onto it, but just could not come down in bounds. And the Falcons at least are smart enough to punt. This game's over. No reason to just give up a ridiculous amount of more touchdowns. And the Eagles will have the ball on their own 47-yard line, 2:46 to go. So the Falcons, again, are one of the second 4 teams. So we've seen in action already the Cowboys and the Bills. And then you know, because it's Back to the Future, that you still get in Week 1 the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. You never know if you're getting more than just the primary 4, but we have already witnessed the Houston Oilers and now these Atlanta Falcons. So 2 of the additional 4, secondary 4, whatever you want to call them, have been in action. So again, you know the Giants and Bears are still coming. The question is, will the Cleveland Browns or Denver Broncos be broadcast? The way it's going, I'm thinking that you probably... I might be able to get them all as broadcasts, which would be nice. But again, Giants and Bears games, absolutely, no doubt. Okay, Falcons, will they run? Will they pet? They shouldn't even be trying to do hurry up or anything, unless they want to practice that. Whatever they need to practice. I guess just all-out bombs. Oh, surprised that the Eagles allowed that to be one-on-one coverage. All right, so I don't know that bombs are what you need to practice. Just get some sort of drive, maybe get 3 first downs. Nope, it's just constantly practice the bomb. And the Falcons do have a speedster over there in Jenkins, but the problem is he's like 150 pounds. And you see the Eagle defender is just hitting him and making him drop the ball.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, Barkowski goes short. There you go. Just put a little bit of a drive together. If you really want to avoid the shutout, maybe kick the field goal at the end, but just get some first downs, get a little bit of confidence, work it. It's okay to go out of bounds, and you can work on that. But just taking aimless bombs just for the fun of it doesn't make sense. 34 seconds to go. Barkowski steps up, comes up short. He's unable to turn around and get out of bounds, so they'll have to use a timeout. That's okay. They still have 2 more timeouts. Again, you're just working on stuff. Are they trying to break the shutout? Maybe. But at the very least, they're working on trying to pick up first downs and get some confidence. Barkowski looks deep here. That's incomplete. Third and 6. Good time as only 3 rushers are coming in. And he's able to go underneath and complete to Jenkins for a first down. Another timeout. That's Jenkins' first catch. 12 seconds to go. They still have a timeout. Barkowski drops back. Turns, fires, completes to the tight end Miller. He gets inside the 10. They call their last timeout. Okay. They are going to go for the touchdown. So they want to break the shutout, but they don't want to kick a field goal, which I'm sure they'd make from here. They want the touchdown. Barkowski, last play of the game, throws it. It's complete, but Andrews has no way to get into the end zone. The Eagles hold. They get the shutout. Impressive game from the Eagles all the way around. Impressive offense. Running the ball with 3 different running backs. Jaworski was very accurate and smart, did not turn it over, and the defense got a shutout. So the team that was 11-5 last year and made it to the Final 4 in the NFC, looks like they're on their way back to that. The Falcons, well, it looks like they're back on their way to another losing season. Look how balanced the Eagles were. 137 yards through the air, 139 on the ground. Almost perfect balance. Impressive. The Eagles were impressive in this one. I finally got the game right. As far as who won, it still was not as close as I thought. But anyways, that is it for the early games of Week 1 of 1980. So join us again for Sack to the Future 1980. I'm not sure if it's the Bears or Broncos. Not Bears. The Bears or Giants, or maybe Broncos or Browns. One of those 4 games will be the next one. Not sure exactly which one. We can take a look at a couple stats here. Barkowski didn't have the greatest game for sure. Here's all the spread out running. 20 carries, 11 carries. Falcons 11. 8 for Giamano, 6. Lots of carries there. Montgomery actually led the team in receptions too, 8 catches out of the backfield. So still, Montgomery still didn't seem like he was that explosive, but he did have still 28 touches for 110 yards and a touchdown. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good night.